They were here, in my dorm, just at the peak of my relevancy. They have conveniently come here to attack the queer who fears them. Me, Dillon, the hacker, them, Vanoss, the gaming, and Logan, the Paul. Okay, so I moved from Arizona to New Jersey for college. Now, I initially came here for my 12th computer sciences degree, but I was soon made the teacher of every class on campus due to being superior than every professor. More about that later. It's no secret that Logan Paul lives in New York with VanossGaming, so I was pretty worried that I was only going to be an hour away from them. Because Logan Paul hates me. He openly hates me for beating up his friend Vanoss. I did nothing to the guy, and Vanoss had it coming, so... Anyway, this all started about a week ago. I was just upstairs in my dorm complaining to my RA that my roommate wouldn't let me watch a violent movie. And my RA agreed with him. I was very aggravated, so I decided to bother my roommate as he and his girlfriend were packing to go to her house. Most of everyone was leaving because it was a 4-day weekend due to the upcoming weather. I wasn't packing because I live across the country, and it would be silly of me to fly home for such a short amount of time. Meanwhile, there was apparently a campus police officer trying to get someone's attention, but everything was way too rowdy. I don't know much about that since I was upstairs talking to my suite mate. My suite mate is a major jerk, and he was trying to tell me that the old man shoveling snow outside was a serial killer just to freak me out because I'd be here alone. I mean, turns out he is, but that's a story for another time. Pizza finally arrived and everyone chowed down. I went downstairs to get some and passed by the campus cop without paying real attention. He was just talking to one of the essays about recent attacks on long red-haired children and what safety precautions they're going to take to make sure those students are safe. A real nothing conversation, really. Anyway, my suite mate ate the last piece of the plain cheese pizza, and I got very mad because it was ordered for me. I paid for it. I Venmo'd my friends the money for it. So I got pissed off, and naturally I attacked him. Then everyone got mad at me. My RA dragged me up to my dorm room, but as we were heading up, the campus cop stopped us and asked us what the issue was. My RA said it was okay, and then I looked up and saw that the campus cop was VanossGaming. He smiled at me, revealing his replacement gold tooth, and my heart dropped. The next day, everyone was gone. Everyone. I thought there would be some workers there, but no. Everyone was gone. And I wasn't really thinking about Vanoss much because I just wanted to take advantage of being alone. I hopped on my RA's bed, I ate junk food, which is just breakfast at college, and I ran around my building a few times. I also watched the violent movie that my roommate wouldn't let me watch. But then he came back that night with Logan Paul. I heard him talking to Logan outside, saying how much he's waited for this. I quickly ran downstairs and turned on all the lights in the lounge just so they think some people were still there, and I hid underneath the pool table. And I think it actually worked because they wound up leaving that night, but I stayed under the pool table just to make sure I was okay. Fast forward through plenty of hilarious hijinks that are fun for the whole family, and I knew what I had to do. Because Vanoss and Logan, they weren't going to stop after finally finding me. No. So, I rigged the entire building full of traps. And lo and behold, they arrived. The first trap I set up was at the bottom of the stairs. It was a bunch of toy cars with tacks in the surrounding area. And the fools fell for it, too. They actually got pricked by most of the tacks. But then they swiftly got up and proceeded to get me. The next trap I set was on a random step. It was a used needle. And the idiots didn't even see it coming because they were in a fit of rage. So Logan just stepped right on the thing. Yelled. Loudest yell I've ever heard. But he calmed down and they proceeded to get me. The third trap I set up was a funny one. You see, I came up with this mechanism where if they tripped over this line of fishing string, a Kohler & Camp model upright 1990 piano would fall right on them. And it did, crushing every bone in their bodies. But then they got up and proceeded to get me. That's when I heard the most aggressive knocking at my door. Vanoss tried to twist the knob, but he didn't realize that I had it connected to 20 milliamps of pure electricity. He was electrocuted to death. But then he got back up and proceeded to get me. Then Logan kicked down the door, and here we are, face to face. We all fought, mano y mano y mano, man on man on man. Then I remembered my final trap. I pushed them both down. I climbed up my wardrobe and waited for both of them to get up. And when they did, I jumped down onto them and caught them in one big butterfly net. They were rendered useless. Finally, the real campus cops showed up, arrested them both, and took them to jail. And as they were being led off to the cop car, I looked both of them straight in the eyes and said, "I'm not afraid anymore." And now here we are. Logan and Vanoss in jail, me slightly wounded, and my RA yelling at me about the mess. Pretty good weekend.